You have a scenario where violent, radical white supremacists face off with radical Islamist jihadis, then it's not Europe anymore.
How do you deal with it without becoming the thing you don't want to become? Ayaan Hirsi Ali, welcome back to the show. So good to have you back. I don't want to waste any time at all. You are someone who's been talking about one issue for a very long time, which was Islamism and Islam. And the other issue about which you're increasingly talking about is Christianity and the role of faith in society as well. I want to start with the first of those two because since the days after 9/11, which feels like it was a different world, when it was a different world, you've been trying to raise the alarm. You've risked your life. Friends of yours have been murdered because they were talking about the same thing. Where are we in relation to that issue in Western Europe, United States, the West more generally?
Well, thank you very much for having me, Fast. It's lovely to be here again, I think for the second time. Mm-hmm. Where are we on the threat of radical political Islam? I think we're in a worse place today than we were in 2001. We've spent trillions of dollars and a lot of blood. And I think I'm coming to the conclusion, what is wrong with our Western leaders? Do we have some kind of curse on us that prevents us from seeing the determination of the radical political Islamists who want to spread their message, which ultimately is the establishment of an Islamic state based on Sharia law? So initially, with 2001, the news broke with those Islamists who wanted to accomplish the objective of establishing an Islamic state through violence. We took passenger planes, they knocked down the Twin Towers, they were on their way to knocking down the White House, and they managed to knock a wing of the Pentagon, and they didn't want to stop this. They wanted to use jihad as a means of shock and awe. And we, I think, got trapped by, if you remember it, you're probably too young to remember that, but it was quite spectacular. And it was history-changing. And the reaction from the United States and the rest of the West was to meet them with force. Because of the military supremacy of the United States of America, the rest of the West, it was relatively easy to subdue and eliminate the structures of Al-Qaeda, to bring down Osama bin Laden as their leader. And when out of that group, a new group, through al-Zarqawi, the Islamic State emerged and hijacked territory, captured territory in Iraq and Syria, we did the same thing again. We were confronted with this determination of these groups to use brutal force, and they were met with military deterrence. They were removed. There is no structure called the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria anymore. But what over the years we have failed to see is the other side, the Dawah side. So not the jihadists, but within the Islamist political groups, there is in my view, much stronger, more insidious, more sinister group, which tries to expand and reach that objective of establishing an Islamic state through Dawah. And Dawah is basically the plan. It is to bring Muslims, those people who identify as Muslim, to transform them from just religious people who identify with the faith, but who are not political, into political tools for the objective. And then take it one step further and convert non-Muslims.